Gather around, guys, gather around. Right, guys. So, all of us together, yes? Yeah. We haven't left anyone lagging behind, yeah? No. Fantastic. I don't know what you're looking at me for, though. Oh, yeah! Hey, General Walton Room permission! Yeah. We got there in the end. But I'd also like to introduce you to apparently our next lady. Even though our next lady did not look anything like Lionel Richie. Our next lady was actually a rather good-looking woman for her 45 years of age. She had long, curly brown hair, a rather slim physique, and was also the first of our girls who was not a born Londoner. In fact, she wasn't even English. She was born in Torslanda, Gothenburg, Sweden, in 1843, and her name was Elisabeth Gustafsdotter. Now, when she was in her early 20s, she moved away from Sweden, moved to London. She met a man by the name of John Stride. They got married, they fell in love, and they moved over to the East End of London and opened up a coffee shop together. They ran this coffee shop quite well for about 15 years, until 1884, when tragedy struck. Her husband died. Actually, at this point, it's at natural causes, you guys. But unfortunately, she loses everything. She loses her home, her job, and her husband, and finds herself on the streets of the East End, scraping together a living, cleaning floors, repairing clothing, or sometimes having to sell her body. Now, with the latter, unfortunately, is where we would next meet her on the 30th of September, 1888, about 10 minutes round the corner from where we're standing, on a street called Berners Street. Now, no one take us to Berners Street today because it doesn't really exist anymore. It's actually now called Henriques Street, and the old buildings were knocked down 100 years ago to make way for a school playground. But just in between of the Socialist Workers' Club and the Greengrocers right there was a place called Duckfield's Yard. And it's where Elizabeth Stride was seen at 12:30 in the morning on Sunday the 30th of September 1888 in the company of a man who looked rather similar to the person seen with Annie Chapman 3 weeks prior. The man wearing the dark peaked cap and the dusty old coat. But according to the eyewitness, a police officer by the name of Will Smith, obviously not the same Will Smith, but he noticed that this man was also smoking a pipe, and she was eating a bag of sweetmeats. And he didn't really make much of it because there was a party going on at the Socialist Workers' Club. They could have just been people attending it. So he didn't think anything of it, and he just walked on by. But then 30 minutes go by, and another person's about to come down into Duckfield's Yard, and his name is Louis Dimshits. Don't laugh, that was his actual name. It's Polish. But at 1 o'clock in the morning on the 30th of September 1888, Louis is pulling his horse and cart into Duckfield's Yard after a hard day's work down in Crystal Palace in South London, which is my hometown. As he pulls his horse and cart into Duckfield's Yard, it's pitch black, he can't see a flipping thing, and his horse and cart shies away to the left and refuses to move. Now, it's just as soon as someone's dumped something in the yard, or maybe one of the people who are attending the party has passed out in the yard. He can't see a thing, it's pitch black and it's really narrow, there's hardly any light. So he kneels down and he strikes a match. But as he does so, he's discovered the body of Elizabeth Stride. Now, Elizabeth had been strangled first to stifle her screams, and then had her throat cut from ear to ear and back again, severing both carotid arteries and severing her windpipe. But that's it. There's no abdominal mutilation, no attack to her sexual organs. So are we to assume that our killers just got lazy all of a sudden? The thing is, guys, I highly doubt that. Because serial killers are creatures of habit. They never usually stray from their modus operandi, their mode of killing, unless they're about to be caught or detected. So what I have to assume has happened is right before the killer's about to disembowel Elizabeth Stride, he's heard the noisy ponying cart coming around the corner, and to stop what he was doing and hide in the darkness of the yard to avoid detection. So maybe, just maybe, when Louis knelt down, struck that match and looked into the eyes of Elizabeth Stride, if only he'd looked up. He looked right into the eyes of the Whitechapel murderer, wouldn't he, my dear? But as soon as Louis has run to get some assistance, it's given the killer all the time he needed to flee the scene. So where is he going to go from here? It's not like he's going to go home and put his feet up and put the kettle on, because he has not committed atrocity for the night. He has not disemboweled this woman. He has not taken her what it means for her to be a woman. So he's going to need to find fresh meat. But he's not going to try and find it in Whitechapel with Inspector Aveline on his tail. No. Not with the Metropolitan Police on his tail. No. Where he goes to find his next victim would be in the oldest, richest and most powerful part of our capital. And that, my friends, is just around the corner. So let's go.